Hey guys, today is August 25th. We are officially a week removed from Leadville, and ladies and gentlemen, we got them. Absolutely stoked. Cannot believe we actually got the belt buckle. Big emphasis on we for getting this done. My crew really got me through to the finish line. I can't thank them all individually enough. They all played a very special role at some point throughout the race and really helped get me through the end. Shout out my pacers, Alex, my brother, and his roommate Matt. Just the best people you could have with you throughout the night. Really kept my head up, kept me moving. Aunt Christine, my aunt, the herbalist, with her multiple tinctures and balms and who knows what else I was putting into my body, but the power of Mother Nature really got me through. Helped the stomach stay pretty settled the whole time. So not enough good things to say about my crew, my parents, my other cousins, my girlfriend, especially Steph, really put up with me throughout the entire year of training. So I'm sure she's happy this is over, but yeah, man, official time was 29 hours and 40 minutes. So golden hour or bust. I got no shame in that. There were a couple times where I didn't know if I was going to make it at all. So I'll go through and try to break down, kind of maybe start to May Queen to Outward Bound to Twin Lakes, and then Twin Lakes to Winfield, and the same thing on the way back. I'll try to do a little recap of that, and got a bunch of clips. My crew took a lot of videos for me, but yeah, training paid off. I cannot believe it. Not having ran more than 34 miles at one time going into this past weekend, and getting a 100-mile done on the first go was pretty crazy. So yeah, I'll play some clips here, and then I'll jump myself back in with some recaps of kind of sections and how they went. But yeah, thank you guys for joining along on the journey, and sorry this took me a little bit to get out, but thank you guys. All right, so start line. Start line was electric. 4 o'clock in the morning. I ended up setting an alarm for, I believe it was 2:30 a.m. I went to bed about 5:30 or 6 the night prior. Got some food in my stomach about 45 minutes, an hour before then. And my brother Alex gave me a nice nighttime powder that he uses. I'll have to ask him what the brand was, but really helped kind of settle me down and put me at ease. So yeah, 6 o'clock bedtime. Got up about 2:30 the next morning. Took care of my business in the bathroom. Got a banana and a scratch bar down the hatch just to get something in my stomach early. And then one of the icy mango spring energy gels because it had 30 milligrams of caffeine. I know Spring has had some issues this year with their nutritional facts and that kind of thing, but they work for me. So I had one at the beginning, and the start line I'll never forget, just seeing nothing but headlamps for it seemed like miles. I think about 770 something people were at the start line, so nothing but headlamps, and a lot of log jams getting to the first aid station, which was May Queen, about 12.6 miles or so in. That section felt so good. I was really proud of myself for staying conservative. Never really went faster than like 11 minutes a mile on that section. I think my split was 12:30 a mile for the first 12 miles. So really happy there. Just tried my best to not get frustrated getting stuck in all the groups of people. Just reminded myself it's a long race, and although cutoff times can make you a little anxious, you got time. Just keep moving. So yeah, I rolled into May Queen probably in about 2.5 hours or so. Topped up water, topped up electrolytes, grabbed some, I was eating a lot of the scratch gummies, so I had a couple of those, and took half a banana and made my way out. So that took us around Turquoise Lakes to May Queen. Not a whole lot to report there. The trail was really fun, single track around Turquoise Lake. Prayers are sending out, for there's one lady that she must have had a seizure or something leading up to the first aid station, and I saw her on the ground, and the medics were coming after her. So shout out the race crew for hopping on that very quickly. I think she was able to get off course and be taken care of in a safe manner. So that was pretty much it from start to May Queen. 12.5 miles, nice and rolly, just kind of chilled and try not to get ahead of myself. All right, so next was May Queen to Outward Bound, which Outward Bound I think got me to about 25 miles or so, 24 and a half, 25 miles. That was our first big climb. So coming right out of May Queen, there was a pretty good climb up a nice double track, very nicely groomed, not too rocky, not too technical, just nice gradual climb. I think that was Sugarloaf. I can't remember the name of the peaks, but coming out of May Queen, that first climb felt so good. I dropped my REI windbreaker, so I just went t-shirt, shorts, and gloves out of that climb. Still no poles yet, just using my legs, and felt great. I was passing a lot of people on the uphills, which I kind of pride myself on. I know I'm not that fast on downhills and flats, so I like to pass people going up hills, and was able to do that. And then got my first taste of Powerline going downhill, which my quads were never the same after that. Just absolutely trashed my quads. I mean, just the grade was crazy going downhill. To all the mountain bikers, I see why. That looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, that was a tough section. Leaving or going from May Queen to Outward Bound was going down Powerline was really tough. But after that, it was a nice, easy, flowy section on some road. Seemed to go by really quickly. Things were going very well up to Outward Bound the first time, outbound, if you will. Stomach was fine. I had a bit of a knee. My IT band did flare up around mile 14, so just after that climb out of May Queen, about 2 miles after May Queen, I started feeling my IT band bark at me a little bit. Again, just tried to stay calm. It was a long race. I knew it was probably better that it hurt at this point rather than hurt really bad later on, so just kind of took it easy for the 10 miles once it started hurting, then getting into Outward Bound 24, 25 miles, which was the first time I saw a crew for the day, which was so electric. I would say time around this point was maybe 9:30 or so, maybe getting close to 10 o'clock, but I think it took me about 5.5 hours to get there. And yeah, it was really nice. Crew was all over it. Took my jacket off, from me. Took my headlamp, took my beanie, grabbed a hot cup of broth. I think I ate half a PB&J there, filled up the bottles, and that is where I picked up the poles. So that aid station, I felt the crew, for it being the first crewed aid station, like a well-oiled machine. The crew got me in and out of there very quickly. I could not have been happier with them. Left there in great spirits. And then got out of there maybe in probably less than 10 minutes and started making my way out from Outward Bound to that would be Pipeline, and I think there's Half Pipe aid station was on the way there. But yeah, that's May Queen to Outward Bound. Nice climb getting out of May Queen, brutal downhill going down Powerline, and then just kind of cruised into the aid station and kind of got ready for middle of the day, got sunscreened up, made sure I was nice and cool, and told my crew I'd see you guys in Twin Lakes.
Do you want to leave with some gels?
Let's go!
Finish line ain't coming to you now. Ain't coming to you. Oh, these feel very nice. Nice. Look at that. Use extra strength.
So, rolling into Twin Lakes from Outward Bound, I thought rolling into Outward Bound was electric, but Twin Lakes was off the charts. It was so much fun in there, just an absolute party. And at that point, I had finally reached, what up to that point was the furthest I had ever run. That aid station got us to about 38, 39 miles. Before last Saturday, the furthest I'd gone was 34. So I was on some uncharted territory, but yeah, from Outward Bound to Twin Lakes, the trail was I just kept remember it being so much fun. It was a net downhill section, at least it felt like it. So cruised, got myself into a nice cadence of, probably 5 minutes of a nice jog / run. I would walk for maybe 2 minutes just because it was so flat and there were some really boring sections, and it was just the best way to keep my mind into it, just kind of picking points along the trail and run to here, walk to here, run to there. Was able to keep clipping like 14-minute miles doing that, which is right where I needed to be. As long as I wasn't getting too far past 17-minute miles, I was really happy. So clipping 14 was fine for me all day. big downhill section coming in the Twin Lakes. You can really make up some time. And I remember that's just going on forever and ever, it felt like, and it got really steep at a couple spots, so I just had to be careful to watch the quads and just stay calm. And then moved into Twin Lakes, and my crew met me there. Spirits were just so high, even higher than they were at Outward Bound. The crew was so happy to see me at Twin Lakes, and I was able to meet that energy. I was also very happy to see them. So yeah, Twin Lakes was a big one. I picked up my poles back at Outward Bound, so I had those helping me on those big downhills, trying to keep some of the pressure off my quads. But I knew Twin Lakes was going to be a really big aid station, so I grabbed a couple of quesadillas for my crew there, and then a bowl of mashed potatoes. Ended up just dipping the quesadillas in mashed potatoes. It tasted so good. But yeah, grabbed that at that aid station. I think I walked out of there with a full Gatorade and half a PB&J as well. And my crew was really trying to get me to eat, and up to that point the stomach was feeling fine. I really all day had no stomach issues. The altitude really seemed to not really mess with me too bad, so training paid off. So yeah, leaving Twin Lakes was awesome. I mean, things were going great. I knew the toughest part of the race was ahead of me, and yeah, I just knew I needed to fuel up and change clothes and get ready for that. So grabbed a beanie, grabbed a headlamp again just in case, and trotted my way out of there.
How are we? Killing it!
Woo!
Let's do this!
All right, so Twin Lakes to Winfield was an awesome section. I was very nervous leading up to the Hope Pass kind of traverse. I was going to be, this is where it's really going to hit. I hadn't gone further than 34 miles. I don't know how my body's going to react, but again, I just tried my best to just stay calm. And I think I mentioned earlier, Ankerstein's tinctures really helped my body stay calm. It made it easy on my mind to keep myself calm. But going up Hope's Pass on the front side the first time, I made up so much time. I felt like I feel like I passed probably about 25 or 30 people going up the front side. Not a crazy pace, but just a very consistent forward push. I didn't stop one time on the front side to take a break and eat or anything like that. I just kept on moving, using the poles. The body was feeling so great at that point. Saw a couple llamas coming down, which was really cool. Got to pet one of those. And then yeah, just kept on moving. I just knew I needed to keep moving up the first time Hope's Pass. So got up there, got to the top, that aid station, crushed a little bit more ramen, filled up on whatever fluids I needed to, and I made quick work of that aid station. I wanted to get out of there very fast. I think that was technically mile, 44, 45 at the top of Hope's Pass. Then there's about a quarter mile from there to the actual summit. So got up to there, turned around, took in my view, smiled for the camera, all that good stuff. The view at the top of Hope's Pass was just one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Just absolutely glorious on the backside of that. It was beautiful. But yeah, the legs still felt pretty fine when I got to the top. I wasn't totally trashed and knew the downhill was going to be tough. So was still able to pass a couple people going down the backside, which is not typical for me. I'm usually very slow going downhill. So yeah, made up some good time. And then by the time I got to the bottom of Hope's Pass and got on the Winfield Trail to start going to the Winfield aid station, I don't know what came over me, but the trail was just so perfect. Really fun single track. Finally got out all the crappy rocks and shale and kind of was able to let the stride open up a little bit, and felt like I was damn near sprinting when I was moving to Winfield. Body just felt so good. I didn't want to hold it back. I've been using my braking muscles a lot, and it was, my legs were yelling at me to let them open up. So I made up a lot of time getting into Winfield. I think the cutoff time was 6 o'clock, and I was about to roll out of the Winfield aid station at 5:20. So I had about 40 minutes to spare by the time I was getting out of there. Rolled into there, was a little disappointed there was no soda. I was looking for some Coca-Cola at that point. I was really hurting, but I made do with what they had, filled up on scratch, took a half a banana, a cup of mashed potatoes I ate with my fingers, and then filled up on my fluids. And at that point, I noticed I had foot issues. I went to change my socks at that aid station because there was a creek crossing before Hope's Pass. And I felt like my feet had dried off maybe halfway up Hope's Pass, like an hour after I crossed the creek. But yeah, I went to change my socks at that point, and it looked like I had been in the pool for about 30 minutes. My feet were so pruned up, and I started feeling a hot spot. Started feeling a hot spot like in the middle of my toe pad, if you will, on my right foot. So I knew I had that was going to keep getting worse. So staying dry before the creek crossing the second time was going to be very, very crucial. So stayed out of all the little creeks and stuff as I could. But leaving Winfield is when things started to take a dramatic change. Again, on the Winfield trail from the aid station back to the bottom of Hope's Pass, damn near sprinted it. Felt so good. Was just moving very, very fluid. Like nothing was really hurting. Nothing was too sore at the moment. So I just knew I had to take advantage of that while I could. Then comes the climb up the backside of Hope's Pass, which absolutely crushed me. Going back up Hope's Pass on the backside is the most brutal climb ever. It was, I mean, it's like this for the first half, and then it kind of turns into some slightly more forgiving switchbacks. But I really started getting behind on time going back up Hope's Pass the second time. I had to take probably 3 or 4 breaks just to stop and let my body recover. My heart rate spiked maybe once or twice there, but made it back to the top, and I could see the aid station with the llamas and knew I just needed to get there, and then it was a 2-mile walk downhill back to the aid station, and I'd be okay. So took my time at that one because I was hurting pretty bad. I ran out of fluids about halfway up the Hope's Pass the second time. I went through way more than I thought I would. So I filled up on fluids there, grabbed a cup of broth, put some warmer clothes on, put on my windbreaker jacket and my beanie and my gloves, and started trucking on down the mountain. And that's when I thought that I really wasn't going to make it back into Twin Lakes because it started getting dark on me and my mind started going to some bad places. But at that point, I was really proud of myself, and I just kept telling myself, you know, look, man, you got this far. You got further than you've ever gone before. You went over Hope's Pass twice. Like, just get back into Twin Lakes, whatever time it is, that's going to be whatever it is. And you just got to make do with what you can. So made it back down Hope's Pass, going in Twin Lakes. Was dreading crossing that creek again because my feet were really yelling at me at this point. But just had to just grind it and just go through. And I was at the lowest of lows at that point until I saw my pacer, Matt, just ear to ear when he saw me, and I couldn't let him down. So yeah, that was getting into Twin Lakes aid station, and I got some more footage here I'll throw in, and then we'll take it from there.
Way to go!
Hey,
Dude.
amazing.
I don't feel so amazing.
It's
Yes,
all
you
right,
do.
you are
You look
amazing.
amazing. He does feel
Woo!
Let's get it.
Let's go! Let's go! What the hell? Love you! Love you! Let's go! Let's go! Woo! We're so proud of you! Nice!
Nice work.
job!
Cross.
Nice job!
Dude,
Awesome
take
job!
it right.
Nice.
How are we?
Snuck up on me. Have a seat.
What do I need?
Go for your feet up.
Broth.
Be cool. Thank you. I need the batteries.
Did it die on you?
How much time?
We gotta get out. We picked up some time there.
Absolutely. Nice work, guys.
Matthias
You're
was,
on
Matthias
fire,
was pushing
dude.
me to some 13-minute miles. Speed racer.
You're on fire.
So outward bound, inbound is kind of where my memory starts going on me. I don't have a whole lot of recollections of what happened there. I got a good amount of videos from my crew, but from what I can remember, spirits were at an all-time low at Twin Lakes, and then outward bound, it was night and day. It was probably 2:30 in the morning at that point, so we're running on 24 hours of when, you know, we woke up the day before, and crew was feeling delirious. I was feeling delirious, but we knew we were doing a lot better on time than we were at the last aid station, so spirits were up, and we were making jokes, and it was so fun. It was just so much fun, this whole experience. But yeah, outward bound, inbound, Aunt Christine gave me a little bit more of her stomach tincture. I took some of the pain tincture there, switched into some dry clothes, brought some more dry clothes because I know Alex and I were going to be together for a while. And yeah, got out of outward bound, inbound pretty quickly, I feel. I put the blanket on for a little bit, and I ate some more ramen because I was getting cold. But that was the biggest food at my crude aid stations, was definitely ramen and instant mashed potatoes. Could not get enough of it. So got another bowl of ramen in there, filled up on the fluids, got myself dry, didn't even touch my feet at that point. I didn't want to take my shoes off again. I knew they were in bad shape, but the less I moved them, the better. So yeah, got fueled up and got Alex, and we made our way to Powerline going up, which was an absolute just beast. I was on my second pair of poles at that point, because coming down Hope Pass the second time, I broke one of my poles somehow, got caught between my legs, flinged out, hit a rock, and my strap broke off. So luckily I had a backup pair, but took my backup pair of poles, and yeah, Alex and I made our way out to Powerline, which going up it, I didn't realize had about 5 false summits that you cannot see at nighttime at all. So every time we thought we were close to the top, there'd be a little dip, and then I'd see more headlamps up the hill. So that was absolutely brutal. But we made it again. I think we were able to pass maybe 2 or 3 groups at that point. It was getting really spread out, but we didn't stop at all. We just kept moving uphill. Like I said, I like to pride myself on uphill being my strength. So we moved very well up that, and then coming into May Queen, that downhill. I remember earlier I said there was a climb out of May Queen. That downhill coming in was the absolute most brutal downhill of my life. I developed a weird muscle tightness, a knot in one of my muscles on the outside of my left leg, so moving my foot at all was damn near impossible. I had blisters all over my feet. 2 of my toenails had just about gone at that point, and every step downhill just felt like razor blades everywhere. I don't think I talked to Alex, my brother, for a good 20-30 minutes of that section. All he heard from me was just grunting and guttural noises. But I knew May Queen. I knew once we got to May Queen and I saw sunlight that we were probably going to make it. And Alex, bless his heart too, he really kept my spirits up there in that section. He knew just what to say, knew just enough of what to say to not make me too grumpy. Thankfully, he's known me 27 years. But yeah, he really helped me out with that section a lot, because I think other than coming into Twin Lakes, that was the lowest I ever was. Started falling asleep, standing up. Didn't see any cool hallucinations, which was disappointing, but yeah, that was really a brutal section. And the pace chart was a little bit off. I thought it was at 87 miles coming in, but it was closer to 89. So that last 2 miles of extra that I didn't think of was really, really brutal. But Alex dragged me, not literally, but pretty much dragged me into May Queen inbound with not a lot of time to spare. I don't even remember what time it was when we got there. It must have been 6 o'clock or so. So I think we left there with 4 hours, or maybe, yeah, about 4 hours to get to the finish from May Queen. So maybe 3.5 hours to get whatever it was, 12 miles or so. Which sounds crazy, but I very honestly had my doubts at that point of making it, because I was in such a bad way. But May Queen aid station was just a fever dream. My only time throwing up was at that aid station, and my stomach was feeling fine, but I had coughed while eating a rice cake, and a piece of it hit me right in the back of the throat, and it just triggered everything and looked terrible. Had a couple minutes to go till the cutoff was coming, but I drank the last of whatever Celsius I had to get some caffeine in me, and I couldn't get any more gels or gummies or anything down at that point. So whatever solid food I could, I think it was the second half of a PB&J maybe and some stale goldfish, but just took whatever I could, threw whatever I needed to in Alex's vest as far as snacks go, and I filled up my 3 bottles, and Alex and I just pretty much power hiked our way to the finish. Going back around Turquoise Lake, we were able to pick up a couple sections. I got some weird bursts of energy where I was doing 12-minute miles, 13-minute miles, but for the most part, we just power hiked at 15, 16 minutes a mile. And yeah, we finally got to those glorious last 2 miles where we knew for sure that it was a sure thing we were going to make it. And really just did the best I could to take it all in, take in the sunrise, take in my family being there, take it in all 24 or so miles that I got to share with my brother. Just a beautiful moment. And yeah, you come up past that football field and up 6th Street and you see the finish line, and it all just hits you at one time. You know, all the doubts, all the 8 months of training and 2 years leading up before this, it all just hit me right there. And I didn't have anything left in me to cry, thank God, but the rest of my family definitely made up for that with all their tears. And it was just a beautiful experience sharing it with the crew, and was able to get a little bit of a Zach Miller finish in for the last 200 yards or so, and just sprinted with whatever I had left in the tank, and got across in 29 hours and 40 minutes and some change. So got my little buckle, and that's good enough for me. Golden hour or bust. I hope you guys enjoyed the footage and as much as I could get along this journey. As I keep signing up for these races, I'll try to make some more videos and kind of go through the training process and how it works with having a job and all that kind of stuff. But really appreciate all the support throughout this journey. It's been a really, really fun year so far. Looking forward to what's next. Alex and I have some things up the sleeve, so we'll see what the next few years holds. But yeah, I appreciate you guys following along, and you're better than you think you are, and you can do more than you think you can. So with that, I will leave you guys. Thank you again.
Come on, let's go. Looking good. Stay strong, stay strong.
Steph, top of the morning.
Mile 87.
And Michelle.
87.
Uncle Tommy, what up, what up?
What up?
Close to heaven.
You
We
got
got old 418.
Clay, you got this, dude.
You got this, Clay.
Clay, you can put it in the bank, baby.
Give her the beans there, bud.
Yes, sir. Woo! I love you. Let's go. Woo! Final stretch.
91 mile. 91 mile. Woo! 91 mile check-in. Delirium is set in. 7 a.m.
Is it 7 a.m.?
9 more miles. We're moving for 27 hours. 27 hours.